Republican Congressman Michael Waltz, former Green Beret commander who serves on the House Armed Services Committee. It's always great to have you on, Congressman, because you look at what Russia is now demanding in this peace plan. They're saying, nope, there's no peace until you acknowledge, talking about Ukraine, Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, but they don't control a single one of those areas, Congressman.
Yeah, Trace, that's not a serious proposal by any means. And the concern is always that any type of negotiations from Russia's standpoint will only be meant to buy time, to rearm, to mobilize, and launch yet another attack, as they did, in the period between 2014 and 2022. So that's the concern. I don't think they're serious about it at all. We'll see where this goes. But Trace, I think we have some internal conversations that we need to have in the United States on what our policy is and what success looks like from our standpoint. I asked this question of Secretary Blinken and Austin just before Congress recessed and said, look, I think Zelensky has absolutely bravely led his people, defended his nation, galvanized the world. But our policy can't just be open-ended, continuing to come back to the American people for billions of dollars until Zelensky decides the conditions are right for negotiation. What do we believe are the right conditions in line with U.S. interests? And there's still not a satisfactory answer there.
Yeah, and you make a good point. You say, listen, Russia is not being honest. They're not being serious about these negotiations if that's what they want. But if you look at the other side, Congressman, you look at Ukraine, and Ukraine says there's no deal unless Russia acknowledges and gives up those 4 regions, along with Crimea, which they annexed back in 2014. Right. It seems like that is also a recipe for a long, long standoff.
That's right. So, Ukraine cannot continue their offensive or probably even their defense without significant U.S. support. And, oh, by the way, the Europeans need to step up and do a lot more. So is our policy to continue to provide that military support, even if Ukraine pushes Russia past that 2014 line or even back into Russian borders? Will we continue to support Zelensky if he goes on the offensive into Crimea, even though Putin has said that is part of Russia under its nuclear umbrella? These are the types of things that either the administration has decided and aren't telling us, or they haven't quite figured out yet, and it should be. And under a Republican-led Congress, those are the questions we need to be asking. Yep. We're also pushing for an IG to oversee the aid, for better oversight on the ground. I think we owe that to the American people. I support the effort, but there needs to be a lot more in terms of oversight and strategy here.
And I've only got about 30 seconds left, but I want to get your take because you had Nate Foy talking about these Iranian drones, and you also have this Chinese variable in there. We do not know where they officially stand on this. We need some clarification on that. In your final thoughts, Congressman.
Well, look, and the other thing about the Iranian drones is they are predominantly made with black market American components and Chinese components. That's why supply chains matter. We need to get a grip on them. We need better visibility on them, and we need to bring them home out of China back to the United States.
Congressman, Happy New Year. Thank you for coming on, sir.
All right, Happy New Year.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.